Hello everyone, this is Tarot Queen Jamila. I am here to do the Scorpio Fall Equinox Love Reading for September 2016. So this is going to be a 10 card Deviant Moon spread is the layout that I'm using. And the deck is my Pagan Tarot deck. So I do apologize for the voiceover. I know that there were people saying that, oh, you can show the cards and you don't necessarily have to be on camera. That's true, but that is kind of difficult to pull off with a webcam. It just doesn't look as good. The quality isn't good, so I need a camera. So let's get started with the Scorpios, though. Okay, so I'm just going to call to the spirits. And you know what? Let me smudge my cards real quick. So while I get this ready to smudge my cards, this is a for Fall Equinox and as well as for love for September. And so Fall Equinox is the same as Samhain. And it's celebrated a lot because this is your harvest time of the year. So we'll be looking at it from that perspective also. But mainly it's going to be about love. So our outcome card, we'll kind of look at that in retrospect to love and the Fall Equinox. Okay, so spirits for the Scorpio. Okay, we'll look at what is going to be the general month or theme, or either, and it'll also be kind of what's going on currently. So we'll look at that, but then we'll also look at the past, subconsciously, secret desires, and hidden forces, a future card, what's around you, how does it affect you, what do the spirits want you to know, and then a final outcome. All right, and then we'll also see how things turn out for you. We want to know what's going on with the Fall Equinox as far as the harvest. Okay, so this is when the moon begins to this is when it's, you know, we start getting half days, half nights. And so we know that October. And guys, also be on the lookout for my Halloween love readings. So those are going to be coming up. I think those are going to be voiceover also. So okay, I'm almost done laying them out for you. Okay. All right, so right off the bat, I want to talk to you guys about the Fall Equinox result that I got. I got the 8 of Cups. So I get the sense that some of you Scorpios are going to be possibly maybe switching jobs or maybe changing something. There's going to be some sort of possible change in lifestyle or some sort of, you know, this is about you having personal development and then, you know, leaving some situation that is not suiting you. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to say that, but your number one card, which is what's coming up currently and sort of, you know, how you're going to go into that month, you got the 3 of Wands. So the love energies for that is not really good. It suggests some sort of love triangle, some sort of third party, some sort of expansion. Not necessarily anything wrong with that, but you know, it shows that it is gonna, it's some sort of problem. Those energies will create a problem. So for some of you Scorpios, definitely do see you doing some research on your partner, possibly, or even having someone close to your partner, sort of doing research on that. Either way, it looks like it's going to cause a problem. I feel as though you might start to get some messages in social media the beginning of September. That's single or involved. I feel like it's going to be male energy. Someone possibly contacting you about your partner. Maybe possibly trying to make that person look morally corrupt, possibly. Okay? And I'll explain that. Now, coming up in the past, you got the Fool card. So for a lot of you Scorpios, there was a new beginning of some sort of trust in your relationship. You began to trust your partner, or either the other way around. So this Three of Wands coming up, and the reason why I'm reading it like this is because of the surrounding cards. Across from that is an upcoming event, and you got the Seven of Swords. So this is either someone behaving unethically, maybe you having the perception of them behaving unethically, but I'm going to go back and go in order here because there's a lot of conflicting cards. Also, the Three of Wands could suggest you and your partner going into some sort of business together. I know that a lot of couples are doing that these days. So yeah. Subconsciously, the devil, comes in. So, first of all, the devil is indicative of a highly intense relationship. Okay, so that's a lot of intensity. So if you're currently involved with someone now or in September, the intense feelings, and then also it kind of turns into a bondage situation. So I get the sense that this is a really deep attachment, especially with the Two of Cups coming up. But we'll look at that because yeah, there's a lot in that Devil card to be affecting you subconsciously. Possible dark energy. Now, the hopes and wishes of the Scorpio is the secret desires and wishes is the King of Swords. Maybe this is you wanting your partner to just accept you for who you are, and then vice versa. So if you're a Scorpio, I definitely do see that within that card. I wouldn't even draw another one. It seems like you just want your partner to accept you for who you are and just deal with it. It's pretty much what the King of Swords, that's just the energy that he brings, especially in a love reading. This is when you just have to accept your partner for who they are. So if you're a Scorpio or you're dating a Scorpio, that's definitely what that means. That message is for you to, and maybe you're desiring that too as their partner. You want to accept them for who they are, because you don't necessarily want to change them, and you can't change them to suit yourself. So Hidden Forces is the Elder of Chalices. So this is another court card. The Elder of Chalices is equivalent to the King of Chalices. So this is really wisdom in confronting emotions, or wisdom in emotional growth. So if that's what you're looking for in your partner, because I do see the cups come up a lot in this reading, a couple of times, If you're a Scorpio or you're dating a Scorpio, there's definitely some positive energy in there as well that helps to balance out the situation. But I want to ask the spirits to explain a little bit more about this Elder of Cups. It could be male or female, literal person, but it could just be that energy, you know, or it could be that this Elder of Chalices is having some sort of effect over your relationship leading up to the Seven of Swords. So and usually the King of Cups is a water sign, so that card could be you or your partner or someone outside of the relationship. Let me just see here. Okay, so the major arcana, the Death card, comes up. To further explain the Elder of Chalices. So you got the Devil and Death card all in the same reading. Pretty interesting. Both of these cards, in particular, the Death card is a lot more positive than the Devil card. But the Death card is a very powerful event in your relationship where you go through a sort of a transformation. So if you're single, you know, and I think if you're single, this card is saying that it's time for you to kind of end one thing, you know, like it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to end your relationship, but there's some dynamic in your life, especially if you're single. Yeah. Some of you singles are searching online for someone. May not be the best strategy. I mean, it can be okay, but you know, now an upcoming event is the Seven of Swords. I feel like someone is going to try to cause a fight or argument with your partner with that Seven of Swords coming up. So that's definite conflicts coming up in your relationship. If you're currently in a relationship, you got some conflicts coming up, or maybe the perception of conflict. Seven of Swords is when someone is being unethical, or it can really be someone trying to expose unethical behavior. So almost like a tabloid. So it's kind of like the seven is a wild card. You don't always want to trust that energy. So the other cards definitely do show that some of you Scorpios are going to have some changes coming up, especially with the Eight of Cups as your final card, and especially with Death showing up. So anyway, your surrounding environment is the sun. So if you're a Scorpio that is involved with someone, it's really a lot of good energy around you. It's going to be good spirits all in all as far as with the environment. Just keep in mind that maybe either your partner or maybe even yourself is just not ready to settle down, and I guess you don't have to be pressured to do that. I do, however, kind of see maybe for some of you Scorpios that it could sort of be a situation to where I don't want to say that, but I don't know. I kind of see the presence of some sort of spiritual issue between, and I'll go over that. Two of Cups comes up as the effects of your surrounding environment. So Two of Cups is a very deeply emotional connection between two people, almost to where they kind of complete each other's sentences and stuff like that. But it can also indicate, especially with the surrounding cards, that there's an issue in, perception and how you see each other. There's something in there because of that emotional connection. There's some sort of issue within that, because the Five of Pentacles comes up as the spiritual forces. So what the Spirit is trying to tell you through that Five of Pentacles is that in order to end the chaos, you have to, know self. This is why the Five of Pentacles, it's really a person that's kind of, feeling as though, they're not getting their fair share, or they're feeling like life is not fair at all. But in the Five of Pentacles, there's always a church depicted in the background, or either some sort of silver lining, some sort of sunrise, or better day, so to speak, So, and I think personally, with some of the illustrations that I've seen, is that it's finding self, or kind of realizing that there's some I guess some discoveries that need to be made about self. The Five of Pentacles, it always points to finding the connection with God, but for some people, the God energy is in them. So it's basically finding God through yourself. So, and that makes a lot of sense with the Two of Cups coming up. So, now your final card, the Eight of Cups, so I want to ask the spirits, does this mean that there's going to be a relationship that the Scorpio is going to leave? The Eight of Cups is, it could be personal development is what it could be. But it can mean that there's going to be some emotions at the end of the month, like as far as the outcome, that is going to make you question the relationship, or maybe look at what you're getting out of the relationship emotionally. So this could either be you, Scorpio, or your partner is going to be looking at it. And so let's just ask the spirits, what does this mean as far as for the people that are involved with someone? Does this mean that their partner is going to break up with them? All right, so that's what we need to know. Now you got the Page of Wands, and that's a court card. So this is a literal person. That's really interesting. So there's definitely going to be some messages. The Page is a messenger, typically positive messages. Let's see what this message is going to be about. I'm just going to ask the spirits real quick, because the end of the reading is definitely telling some sort of story. There's an emotional period where you want to abandon a situation. Maybe you realize that you shouldn't. Maybe just abandoning some sort of habit, especially with the Devil card coming up, with the Devil affecting you subconsciously. Okay, so let's ask about the Page of Wands. And you get an Elder of Wands. So very interesting that you get two court cards. One of them is a messenger. The other wand is sort of like a what is it? Maybe your father, maybe someone important. Just someone that provides some sort of guidance. It may be your father. But let's ask the spirits. So the message, you could get some sort of message maybe from this older person. Let me ask the spirits, what is this message going to be about, and what is it going to be for an outcome? Yeah, I don't like to leave you guys hanging with a negative card. I quit doing that. Okay, so Two of Wands comes out. So I feel as though there's going to be, if you're currently involved with someone, there's definitely going to be some emotions that are going to come up. Maybe even either one or both partners is thinking about leaving, but then there's a message coming in from possibly an older person, possibly two different people, a younger person and an older person. But the Two of Wands comes out as the final result. So this does represent some sort of partnership, and a really good partnership, you know, one where you just generally have each other's back. So that's a really good partnership. Now, if you're single, this is a little bit different. So if you are single, your outcome as far as will you find love, I'd say definitely yes. And I think that you may be thinking about relocating. I think that this person is possibly going to lead you to relocate. It's a possibility. So that's if you're single, or either you're going to move, or just broaden your scope of what you're looking for. So yeah, especially with that Three of Wands, I kind of see you as, you know, maybe possibly dealing with someone currently online, because a lot of people are doing a lot of internet dating, which is why I love the Pagan Tarot deck, because, you know, they actually show depictions of this day and age, you know. So I think those are pretty cool, because I can actually see a lot in that. But I think all in all, the result, I think there's going to be some issues coming up from a third party. I think that if you're involved with someone, you're going to find the partnership back. I think you're going to get some advice from, you know, a father type figure. And maybe even a younger person is going to give you some positive perspective to help you deal with those emotions. Some of you are going to be taking a journey through personal development, definitely, as far as with your fall equinox. Especially with the Devil coming up as affecting you subconsciously. The Eight of Cups is definitely a positive card in retrospect to that card, because this shows some sort of improvement. The Devil card, you know, it can mean that maybe you or your partner could be, you know, so intense that it could be suffocating, and it could be bothering your partner. You know what I mean? It just could be that it's some sort of negative energy with that, and I believe that's why you got the Eight of Cups. But, you know, all in all, I think as far as with the Eight of Cups, it's a catch-22. You know what I'm saying? It definitely suggests some sort of make or break period in a relationship where you're dealing with a lot of emotions, and you sort of have to get away from those emotions for a while. So definitely some sort of, you know, separation, even if it's for a day or so, you know. So but we'll see where that picks up. Definitely do see the situation coming back together, you know, with possibly some advice from the two court cards, the Page of Wands and the Elder of Wands. Could be somebody that's fire sign energy, but it could be just, you know, any person that sort of helps you keep your moral compass, or to help you keep the balance of your moral compass. So anyway, that is going to do it for love. All in all, I do see some struggle, you know, during the month of September. I believe it's going to be caused by a third party. I believe that the relationship with this third party could be indicative of the Devil card coming up subconsciously. So you just want to look out for that also. But if you want a personal reading, you can contact me on my website. The link is in the video description box. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Make sure that you subscribe and thumbs up this video, and also leave a comment. I love getting feedback. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Blessed be.